spring, but winter has us in its grips at the moment, and the cold air in the short term will win out. This area of high pressure bringing a fine day for many tomorrow before more areas of low pressure wind in from the Atlantic. The winds strengthen, they bring more rain and snow as they come across the cold air. Eventually the milder air will get into southern parts later in the week. But for the meantime, where we're seeing the boundary between the cold and the mild air, a little bit of rain or snow around in southern Britain today. Perhaps a light covering in places and some quite nasty travel conditions. In fact, it's another miserable day. We've forgotten what the sun looks like, and it's going to be quite cloudy, cold, dull once again. And the cloud further north is actually showers, but we can see some good breaks in the cloud through western Scotland, Northern Ireland, northwest England, and here we'll continue to see the best of the sunshine today. Whereas as we come further southwards, it really will be quite miserable and dull. And there could be several centimetres of snow from the showers further north too. So as you'd imagine, it's going to feel cold, temperatures up to 6 or 7 at best, but add on the strength of the wind, and say in Cardiff it'll feel more like -4 degrees. Now tonight things will start to clear away from western areas, the showers dying back to the coast. A little sleet and snow though for East Anglia and the south east, driven on by a strengthening wind and a bitterly cold night. Of course it'll be quite icy. And although we see the milder air eventually getting into the south later in the week, we will keep some quite sharp frosts, quite penetrating frosts as the winds increase from Tuesday onwards really. So don't be fooled even if temperatures are just below freezing. So a frosty start tomorrow, a little bit of fog around, 1 or 2 wintry showers and perhaps a little snow still for East Anglia, but that'll die out and many places will have a fine day before the next batch of wet and windy weather comes into the southwest later on. A little snow for the moors. That'll creep a little further northwards during Tuesday, but for many parts of northern and central Britain, another fine day, just a few wintry showers around, but a strengthening wind, really making it feel cold, perhaps easterly gales in the south. And then that starts to nudge a little bit further northwards on Wednesday, coming across the cold air, and we could see some quite appreciable snowfall as that heads its way northwards, even down into parts of southeast England, for example. So we do need to keep an eye on that for later in the week, the risk of some snow. We will keep further updates on CPAC's page 405. And then following the snow, the mild air and further rain, which means that once we see the snow thawing, we could see further rain and possibly some localised flooding. But for northern Scotland, things should stay